Good day, everyone, and as promised, we are now doing the third, not the final, but the third lab, and it's the final one for this playthrough. I just wanted to start off, though, before we go into this, that, thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate it, and if you want to go ahead and share out my video, or like, comment, subscribe, any of those things, I would much appreciate it. Well, let's dive in and go ahead and go to the path. And quickly mention that I like the labyrinths, but I have one major problem with them, which I think actually most people do, and that dying in the labyrinth is all sucks. Like, it sucks a lot, because you're like, oh look, I just went through, the past 30 minutes going through the entire gosh darn labyrinth, and then, oh, you just kill me instantly. What? Okay. Or no, not even instantly, but you just die, and the point is that after you die, you then have to go back to square one and start off from the labyrinth again. And then you just kind of, and then like slight little bit of lag, and you're dead, and you gotta go back to one. And I have had lag issues before in the past. I'm sure everyone has, but I mean, it's really bad in situations like this, because then you're like, oh, I now need to rerun the entire goddamn thing from scratch. And I had done it like for several hours, just like as soon as I would get to Inazuma or whatever his name is, it would just horribly lag for lots of different reasons, and then I would just be very sad and get pissed, and I'd throw my goddamn mouse all the way across the map. Ooh, it's not good. I mean, it's good, but it's not as good as I would like. Oh, come on, just pick up the thing, we can go. Here, click the lever. Dealing with the damage. Don't care as much. Let's see, map shape. What? Jump up here. Down. I'm gonna die. Locked door. Labyrinth chest. Gonna get the things. Click. Ooh, shinies. Hope we get all this. Hope to get good stuff. Probably won't. Who cares? Yeah, I have an actual topic I also wanted to talk about today too. I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah. These traps usually do kill you. Before I talk about that, these traps usually do kill you in a major way, and it just so happens that because of our high physical damage reduction, which it's not very high when we don't have max things. It's not so bad. It's not so bad. You can deal with it. It's one of those things that if you're doing a total evasion build, more than likely if you get hit by a trap, unless I think you can evade, like, evade on it. You're gonna die, because they leave quite a harsh bleed. I mean, unless you can counteract it with stuff, but I don't even think I think it's more percent based of life, as opposed to like just like a flat rate and then it increases per dungeon. At least it's what I feel like it is, because otherwise you could just run through here with stupid amounts of HP and nothing would happen to you, but yet it always seems to decrease no matter if I have a low amount of HP or a high amount of HP. The rate at which my health would go down for any class is about the same, unless I have lots of physical damage reduction, that is. Alright, first section of the boss. Oh, where we traveled was close to the end of the path. No, not close to the end of the path. Oh yeah, things. So I wanted to talk about things. Um, I was trying to think about something to talk about, and I had watched a video somewhat recently where they took food and like did like meat substitute things. I basically wanted to talk about vegetarian and veganism and stuff like that. And so I want to talk about it briefly because I get frustrated at it sometimes. Oh no, maybe I shouldn't mention that because obviously the gods of gaming don't want me to want me to die for mentioning vegans, and I shouldn't do that. Wow, I'm lagging pretty bad right now. I don't know why either. Oh well, forward and onward. Only I can really say, you know, this video never happens if I died, which is entirely possible. Anyways, vegan stuff, yeah, I was just thinking that, I get frustrated at it because they always do these imitation, like, cheeses, or, I guess cheese I can somewhat understand, but, like, meat and other things like that, it's like, well, but why? I mean, I can understand, but the thing is, you're going vegetarian or vegan because you want to get away from meat and all that other stuff. Or, I guess unless you're the case where you can't have it, kind of thing, which would be completely different. But, you know, in the case where you're just trying to get away from meat stuff, it's like, but why are you trying to imitate meat? I mean, yes, I think it's delicious and I enjoy it quite a lot. But I mean, you're supposed to be moving away from it. Isn't that the point of being a vegan or vegetarian? So why are you... you can see my point here, though, right? It's just like... It's like they used jackfruit to make imitation, like, fish and stuff like that. Because jackfruit, when it's made in a... when it is kind of, like, covered, like, fish and chips is, with the batter and stuff like that, or the coating, when it cooks up, it's quite flaky and stuff like that. So you can mistaken it for fish, and it's like, but why? Why not call it, you know, you're having deep fried jackfruit instead of saying it's vegan fish and chips. I mean, but yeah, exactly. It's just like, I don't know. I just don't see the exact point of it. I mean, I see the point of it, but at the same time, I think that, you know, if you're going to be a vegan or vegetarian and you're trying to move away from these things, you shouldn't just put it back in, because it's like, it's not just going against what you just, you know, supposedly you're trying to get away from. It feels contradictory in a major way. You know, I personally have problems, I mean, a little bit of a problem with hypocritical things like that. I try not to be. And, I mean, everyone does do it sometimes. And so it's just like, when someone is so blatantly, it frustrates me. And it's probably when I'm like, yeah, you know, I don't like it when they're you're vegan or vegetarian and you're going ahead and having imitation meat because you're trying to make synthetic, not real meat. But that's what the point of being a vegan or vegetarian is. You're trying to get away from it. You don't want it, you're saying it's not good. I mean, or because it's harmful to cows, but it's like, so you're saying if it wasn't harmful to the cows, then you'd eat meat. So then what about that meat that is synthetically grown in a lab? You know, it hasn't hurt anyone technically because it's just made from stem cells and stuff like that, right? So does that one, like, you're gonna be like, okay, well, I'll eat that meat then, right? So then you're not actually a vegetarian or vegan. You're just someone who's saying, I'm morally better than you for those reasons. I don't know. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It seems innately wrong and contradictory. too much for my brain. And I would prefer them to go ahead and make really good vegan or vegetarian dishes. I mean, a really good one I figure is Buddha's Delight, which is made in China or originated from China or something like that. And don't quote me on that. I don't remember, or I don't know for sure. I think it is, but I could be very wrong about that. And it's just like, and in China they have a lot of people who are like, how dare you feed a Chinese man vegan, or how dare you be a vegan Chinese man, kind of thing, or vegetarian even still. Although they do have a lot of dishes that are more or less just celebrating the vegetable than anything else. It's just so. You can see my point here. It's just like, instead you should make, instead of using, making meat dishes, you should instead be inventing their own dishes, something that highlights or specializes in these vegetables and stuff too, especially all the unique ones that are different from, what is classically eaten. Instead, I don't know. It's just kind of what I think. I think that if you're gonna do those things, then you should try to improve upon the base set, as opposed to trying to make something that it isn't into something that you want it to be. It's said wrong. I need to rephrase that. Okay. Instead of making fruits and vegetables into meat, you should then instead make something really tasty that is specifically for those fruit and vegetables. Like Buddha's Delight, like I mentioned, or in Shokugeki no Soma, really good anime and manga. Juchiro? Can't remember his name. The main character's dad made a breakfast ramen that was both light and yet rich, because of using vegetables. And a lot of people make it and they're like, oh yes, this is substituting this and substituting that. It's like, well, they don't mention that thing because they're not substituting. The entire point of the dish was they were making a vegetarian ramen, and they were using this and this and this, and it had nothing to do with substituting anything. I mean, if you wanted to make a comparison to, let's say, if you were trying to say, okay, because the point of doing that is usually to make a comparison. So they'd be like, okay, well, in typical ramen, you have eggs and this or this or this and this, and so therefore this is replacing this. But the thing is that it's not meant to be compared to other ramen or vegetarian or to meat ramen. It's just supposed to be a vegetarian ramen, and you're comparing it to how, like the judges do, is like how well it does for a breakfast food, and how much are in comparison to the other person's dish, and how well it went with, and how revitalizing and nutritional and tasty it was. So you're comparing the two dishes. You're not comparing side by side this you're comparing this vegetarian ramen dish to freaking tonkatsu ramen, because they're different. They have different purposes and different things. I mean, you can make those comparisons, but it doesn't make a lot of necessary sense too, because it's like, what the point? The point was to not. It's not to have. It's supposed to be a vegetarian ramen. That's what it is. What all it is, and you should be celebrating that. And those kinds of things, those things I'm interested in trying. I like tofu a lot. I think it can go into a lot of things. And I guess you could, and it's pretty high in protein, so you could consider a substitute, but I wouldn't make the dish and saying that this is still the same dish. I would say, this is tofu ramen or something like that, or this is this kind of thing. It's not what it was originally intended to be. It's not the same thing anymore. It's got its own unique take on it. It's now its own. Oh no! Oh no! Shoot! Okay, I got through it. Yeah. Yeah, Zara's dead. You're gonna die, Zara. Yeah, that was easy. Almost died there. But, you know, almost. It's fine, as long as I'm not actually dead. But yeah, I don't know, it's just something that was bothering me a little bit. You know, I would like to see... I don't see why they wouldn't be like, okay, this is, for example, the jackfruit one, right? Instead of treating it like halibut or fish and stuff like that, instead treating it like its own unique thing, and instead of limiting what you dip it in for, like fish kind of stuff, if you do dips, if you do dip it or something like that, or what kind of seasonings you do, you instead go, oh, this is now, you know, this is jackfruit we're deep frying. Let's take this in another direction. Right? And if you want to do savory, but because it's not fish, because fish has a more narrower category of things you put into it, like you can do savory dishes, so let's put in different type of seasonings than you'd normally put in, because it's still going to have the same texture you want, but it's going to be much more broader to the options you put into it. You know, I think that makes sense. Alright, so we beat that. As you can see, it was easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And, you know, we're gonna go back now. That was it for this video though, guys. From here on out, we're gonna go ahead and, in the next one, clear out Kitava's horn, or take care of Kitava's horns. You know, beat Kitava, the Act 10 boss. Finish up, wrap everything up, and, you know, move on to different things. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, all those good things. Or don't if you didn't. And, you know, see you next video. Bye bye.